Hey everyone, what's going on? Phoenix here. Today I have a very exciting video. We are announcing the next season of the Levistras Explorers Challenge. This is going to be Season 3, also known as the Chittick League. In the description of this video, you will find a link to this document, which has all of the rules and everything that you're going to need in order to participate in the league. So the league is going to start on January 17th. This video is going to come out on the 11th, so it'll be basically 1 week after this video comes out. This is very similar to the seasonal mechanic from Diablo or Path of Exile, if you're familiar with those games. We have done this twice in the past, the Auroch League and the Banner League. Each league has progressed this a little bit, and we're hoping that this one progresses things even further and makes it more enjoyable for everyone and is a ton of fun. So without further ado, I'm going to get into what this is going to be. So there's going to be 5 factions in the League Chapter House, which was introduced in the Banner League. You're going to complete different tasks for each of these factions, and you're going to earn League points and a brand new League currency introduced for the first time. And then you can spend that currency on some exciting new items custom to this league. And a huge caveat for these items that I'm going to just mention up front, and I'm going to mention throughout this video, is that these custom league items are not going to be retained once the league is over. They are going to be removed from your characters. So just keep that in mind as we talk through everything. So when the league starts on the 17th, a recruiter will spawn in the training hall. In order to flag for the league, you just hand a pyreel on your brand new character to that NPC, which you won't be able to miss because he's wearing a big Chittick mask. And that will flag you for the league and teleport you directly to the chapter house where the league will begin. Actually, before I jump ahead to character restrictions, I'm going to mention for previous leagues, we kind of set a league end date, but the time of day that the league ended was a little bit flexible. For this league, we are setting a very specific league end date of the 9th of March, and it's going to end at 10 Pacific or 1 Eastern. So there will be no questioning when the league is going to end this time. Now, for characters for this league, you can play any race except for Althoi, because those are just player killer race. For your profession, you're going to choose custom, and then you're going to select your attributes based on a standard array using 100, 90, 80, 30, 20, and 10 as the values for the 6 attributes, and then you can assign them to any of the stats as you wish. So if you want it to be 100 strength, 90 cord, 80 quickness, 30 endurance, 20 focus, 10 stealth, that would be an acceptable character. For your skills, we're being very flexible with this league. There are actually only 2 restrictions. The first is that we are banning summoning for this league, so you are not allowed to train or specialize summoning on your character, and you're not allowed to add summoning to your character, either trained or specialized, after your character has started. So for the entirety of the league, you are not allowed to use summoning. And the second character restriction is that you can only ever train or specialize 2 of the supporting magic skills, which are creature enchantment, item enchantment, and life magic. So if you wanted to be a specialized life magic, trained creature enchantment, mage, that's great. You just can't get item enchantment. And we have, as I mentioned already, made some cool specific league items for this. And we think that those are going to kind of make up for the lack of the third magic of your choice and give you some interesting choices on other skills that you can select. And we'll get into that a little bit later. You can do whatever you want for the appearance. You can do whatever you want for the town, because you're going to get teleported to the chapter house anyway. For naming your character, we have made one small change, which is previous leagues, your name had to begin with the league initials, and now we are giving you the option to either begin or end your character name with the league initials. So this league is CL, so you need to start your character with CL space or dash a name, or end your character name with space or dash CL. Now, the idea and reason we do this is so you can easily identify other players who are participating in the league. So please don't try to hide the CL in your name. And we want this to be fairly obvious that you are a Chittick League player. As I mentioned, you're going to want to flag for the league by just handing a pie to the recruiter when he spawns. For league chat this season, we are going to be using the roleplay channel as with previous leagues. So when you create your character, make sure you type /join space roleplay, and that will join you to the global roleplay chat, and we can use that for the league. Once you make your character, you can change your innate attributes as much as you want, but they always have to fit the standard array. So if you start with 90 coordination and decide later on you want to be 90 focus, you just have to make sure your attributes are always 10, 90, 80, 30, 20, 10. And then if you get attribute augmentations throughout the league, those can be added on top of that standard array. And then as with previous leagues, we're going to have a Discord channel in the Levistras Discord, specifically for the Chittick League, so make sure to check that out. For some other housekeeping rules, 1 league character per player total. We're going to go back to the Auric League rules on allegiances, so please do not swear to another player or accept vassals in this league. We will not be doing allegiances. There will be no explorer gear, and once again, going to reiterate that all of these special league items will be destroyed at the end of the league. We have some rules on non-league character interactions. These are the same as the Banner League. So the idea, like with a season in Diablo, is that we want this to be you are working with other seasonal characters to build your character up, and you're not just getting, 1,000 MMDs from your level 275 main and power leveling or anything like that. So those are the rules around that. We do have some league story quests similar to Banner League, and we ask that when those specific quests are being run, that it is a league-specific group and not a non-league character being involved in those. For non-story quests, it's perfectly fine to work with people who are not in the league. We just ask that you're not getting carried by the non-league players. We ask that it's either like an even split of league and non-league characters, or that league characters make up more of the group and are higher level than the non-league characters. We don't want you getting carried and essentially getting power leveled by non-league characters. If you ever have a question about these type of interactions, you can throw it in the comments of this video or in the Discord, and we'll answer it. It's not a big deal. For the league scoring, you're going to earn league points by completing quests. There will be kill tasks in this league, and there will be other ways that I'm not going to get into in this video that you'll have to discover for yourself to earn league points. You can always check the status of your league score. In the chapter house, there's Scorista, the calculator NPC, to see your league standing. And then there's a statue of worthiness and a statue of judgment to see if you qualify for the unique rewards. There will be 1 unique reward per faction. And then the generic consumable rewards, like we've done in previous seasons, those are going to be MMDs, experience gems, promissory notes, Aether Flux, which is a Levistras custom currency for cosmetic items, and luminance gems. The unique faction rewards will be revealed throughout the season. So that's it for the rules. Pretty simple this time because I don't have to go through 5 different classes. But what I do have to go through, and I hope you're excited to see, are all of these unique items that we've created. So for that, we're going to jump onto my private server and I can show off what we've made. Okay, so I'm here in the League chapter house, and this is Mauro Arcieri, the vendor who is going to sell all the cool items. He accepts Explorer coins as currency, which you will earn through completing League tasks. And let's just jump into the items. So we have Soldiers Aegises. So there's a weak version, a regular version, and an epic version. The weak version has a 10% magic absorb, requires base shield and specialized magic defense to use, and also has 50 AL. The base version has 75 AL, requires base shield, magic defense level 80, and is a 20% magic absorbing shield. And the epic version has 100 AL. The Warrior's Vigor spell requires a base shield of 450, specialized magic defense, and level 150, and that has up to a 30% magic absorbing property. We have some clothing. We have the Explorer's Cloak, which was a reward for the Auric League. However, we have modified it for this league slightly. So to use this, it requires level 60 and trained leadership. And It has Augmented Understanding 3, Mana Giver, Inner Brilliance, Inner Might, Inner Will, and Weave of Arcane Lore with potential for leveling it up twice. So you would get level 2 Weave of Arcane Lore. We've got some underclothes. So we have Society Leggings in 3 versions. This has the Sigil of Vigor set. The first weak version has the ability to level up to level 2, requires level 30 to wield and trained leadership, and has all level 3 Banes for your underclothes. The mid version of the leggings requires level 70 trained leadership, has potentially 3 levels of Sigil of Vigor and level 5 Banes, and the high version of the underclothes requires level 110 specialized leadership, potentially 5 levels of Sigil of Vigor, and has level 7 Banes for your underclothes. The tunics are exactly the same. They are just cover the top version of your underclothes. So they also have Sigil of Vigor, trained leadership, level 30. Level 70, trained leadership, 3 levels of Sigil of Vigor, and then level 110, specialized leadership, 5 levels of Sigil of Vigor. So if you wear both of the top ends, you could potentially get 10 levels of the Sigil of Vigor set. We have limitless beers. So we have all 6 different beers that you're used to that you can make with the cooking skill. In order to use these, you have to have a cooking skill of at least 300 and specialized cooking, but you will get a nice quality of life boost for not having to make these beers all the time. We have some interesting gems to go through. So we have Everlasting Gems of Purity, Stillness, and the level 8 Gem of Dispelling. To use the Everlasting Gem of Purity requires level 25 and specialized mana conversion. To use the Gem of Stillness, level 75 and specialized mana conversion. And again, with the level 8 requires level 200 and specialized mana conversion. These are all unlimited use items. We have some one-time use items, which is the Gem of Regeneration. You only have to be level 10 to use this, and you have to have an item tinkering of at least 150, and it will cast Surge of Regeneration. We have Surge of Destruction gems. You have to be level 100 with a magic item tinkering of at least 300. And we have a Surge of Protection gem where you have to be level 100 and magic item tinkering of at least 300. We have a Gem of Tusker Leap, which requires level 10 and specialized jump to use. If you're in a need to get to a hard to get to place, you could use that. Then we have we have spell certificates for level 1 through 6 spells of each magic school. So you'll buy this and use it, and it will teach you all of these spells level 1 through 6 for that class. So we've got item, life, creature, war, and void spell certificates. We have the same thing for level 7 spells, and we have the same thing for level 8 spells. We also have a ring and wall spell certificate, which will teach you all of the ring and wall spells that you would normally get. These are very similar to the stipend items. Next, we have a boatload of portal gems. So we have gems of portal recall, lifestone sending, Gear Knight invasion area recall, paradox touched, Although infested area recall, graveyard recall, Alpha Cell recall, Ulgrim's recall the Sanctuary, Mount Letha recall, Airlinth recall, Singularity Call recall, Burr recall, Coliseum recall, Lost City of Neftet recall, Rinthid recall, Frozen Valley recall, and Candith Keep recall gems. All of these gems require specialized run to use, and they each have a different level requirement. So Portal Recall is level 20, Lifestone Sending level 30, and they're all, the levels should be set to the level where you would typically be able to get this recall. So like the Direland's Gear Knight is 150, Paradox Touch area is a 150 area, Graveyard 125, Alpha Slithel 30, Ulgrim's Recall 100, Recall the Sanctuary 30, and so on. So this is an alternate way of traveling without having item magic. For jewelry, we have the Explorer's Compass. So this is another Auric League reward that we have repurposed for the Chittick League. So to use this, you have to be level 60 with trained leadership, similar to the Cloak. It gives you augmented damage reduction 3, Life Giver, perfect balance, perfect health, and perfect speed. And also has Weave of Arcane Lore with potential for 2 levels. And then we have trinkets that require level 20, base deception, and arcane lore of 100. This is similar to the deception items that you would use in your inventory that you need item tinkering to make. However, this is a trinket which will give you that same Virindi Whisper 1, but also gives you the level 3 creature buffs for magic skills, and also some minor buffs for arcane lore, war magic, and void magic. The second version of that gives you Virindi Whisper 3, so it's the mid tier. To use it, you need to be level 50, have a base deception of 125, and then some arcane lore. Cast Arcane Enlightenment 5, again, Virindi Whisper 3, all of the magic spell level 5s, and then moderate war magic, moderate void magic, and minor life, creature, and item magic. And then the top tier of that requires level 80 with a base deception of 225. This one casts the highest level of Virindi Whisper 5. It has level 7 magic buffs with major arcane prowess, major war magic, major void magic, and then moderate life, creature, and item. And I believe this one also has moderate arcane lore, which I missed. So there's that. Okay, then we have some other trinkets. So we have a trinket of damage. You have to be level 100 with weapon tinkering 300. To use this, it gives you augmented damage 3, augmented health 2, and augmented damage reduction 1. So just a pre-imbued trinket if you like damage. Then we have a trinket of damage reduction, which requires level 100 and armor tinkering of 300 to use. This is augmented damage reduction 3, augmented damage 1, augmented health 2 with the bonus major endurance and major willpower. Then we have a trinket of health, which gives you augmented health 3, life giver, and major health gain. To use this, you need to be level 40. You need to have 100 loyalty. Trinket of stamina, life giver, major stamina gain, augmented stamina 3, warrior's vigor, major endurance. You need to be in level 40 and have loyalty of 100 to use that as well. And then trinket of mana, which has these same requirements, gives life giver, augmented mana 3, major mana gain, wizard's intellect, and major willpower. Next, we have an advanced trinket of damage. So this requires level 150 with a weapon tinkering of 375 to use. Gives augmented damage 3, augmented health 2, augmented damage reduction 1, epic focus, epic strength, and epic coordination. Then we have the advanced trinket of damage reduction, which has same reduction except for armor tinkering of 375. This gives you augmented damage reduction 3, augmented damage 1, augmented health 2, epic endurance, epic willpower, and epic quickness. Then we have the advanced trinket of health, which is spelled wrong, and we'll fix that, which gives augmented health 3, essence sluice, which is a 25-point health boost and epic health gain, requires level 80 and loyalty of 150. We have the advanced trinket of stamina, which has augmented stamina 3, epic stamina gain, essence sluice, warrior's greater vigor, and epic endurance. Has the same requirements as the health trinket. And then the advanced trinket of mana, which gives augmented mana 3, wizard's greater intellect, epic mana gain, essence sluice, and epic willpower, and has the level 80 requirement and loyalty of 150 requirement. Okay, next we have some bracelets, rings, and amulets. So we have bracelets of the elements. This is a level 40 required base item tinkering with trained alchemy rec bracelet that gives you all of the level 5 elemental protections and minor wards for all of the elements. The mid version of this gives level 6 protections with majors, requires level 80, base item tinkering of 215 and trained alchemy. And the highest version gives you level 7s with epic wards, requires level 120, base item tinkering of 365 and requires specialized alchemy to use. The bracelet of force gives you level 5 physical protections and armor level 5s and minors. Requires level 40, armor tinkering of 215 and trained shield. The mid version gives you level 6s and majors. Requires level 80, armor tinkering 315 and trained shield. And the high version, again, level 7s and epics. Requires level 120, armor tinkering of 365 and specialized shield. For rings, we have the Ring of the Body. This is level 5, cord, strength, quickness, along with regeneration and rejuvenation with minors in those same spells. To use this, you have to have a base maximum health of 175, be level 40, and have trained recklessness. The next tier of this is level 6s with majors. You need a base maximum health 225, be level 80, and have trained recklessness. And the highest version is level 7s with epics, with maximum health, base maximum health of 275, being level 120, and have specialized recklessness. Next, we have the Ring of the Mind. So the weak version, again, level 5s and minors for focus, willpower, endurance, and mana renewal. To use this, you have to have a base maximum mana of 250. You have to be level 40, and you have to have trained mana conversion. The mid tier gives you level 6. And majors, you have to have base maximum mana of 325, be level 80, and have trained mana conversion. And the top tier is level 7s with epics, base maximum mana 400, level 120, and requires specialized mana conversion. For necklaces, we have the Necklace of Defense. The lowest level version of this gives you level 5 magic resistance, invulnerability, and impregnability along with minors. To use it, you have to have missile defense of 100 and be level 40. The mid tier requires missile defense 200 and level 80 and gives you level 6 magic resistance, invuln, and impregnability, and the major versions of those spells. And the high version gives you level 7s and epics, and you have to have a missile defense of 300 and specialized missile defense to use it. And finally, we have the Necklace of Artifice. So this is going to give you all of your base item magic spells for your weapons at level 5. To use this, you need to have weapon tinkering of 215 and being level 40. So that's Hermetic Link, Heartseeker, Defender, Blood Drinker, Swift Killer, and Spirit Drinker Self. The mid version of that gives level 6s. You need a weapon tinkering of 315 and to be in level 80. And the top tier version gives level 7s. You need a weapon tinkering of 365 and you need to be level 120. So quite a bit of jewelry. We have an Exploration Society lockpick, which has a better lockpick rating than any other lockpick available in the game besides the rare. We have some boxed everlasting healing kits. So we have an excellent healing kit, which just requires you to be level 10. We have a treated healing kit, which requires you to be level 50. A plentiful healing kit, which requires level 100. A health kit, which requires you to be level 150. And a Everlasting Light Infused Healing Kit, which requires you to be level 200. We have Everlasting Stamina and Mana Kits. So the Stamina Kit, the lesser one requires level 50, and the higher one requires level 100. We have the Mana Kits. It's the same thing, 50 and 100. And then we have a skill reset certificate. So we wanted to include this in case people made characters and then later on decided some of these items presented better options for them, so you have the chance to reset relatively easily here. And then we have a boxed augmentation gem, same thing you would buy with stipends, but available here at the League vendor as well. For some weapons, we have these Vagabond's offhand weapons. These are intended for players who like to dual wield and use attack with repeat attacks off. So you're only attacking with your main hand weapon for, this would be for like finesse, light weapons, and heavy weapons characters. So this is intended to be an offhand weapon for those players where you don't attack with this weapon, but you still have to get the dual wield skill. So for the lowest version, you're going to need to be level 50 and have a base dual wield of 300. And you're going to get crit damage 1. You're going to get a weapon that does no damage, but has an attack skill modifier of 20 and a melee defense modifier of 20 and has level 5 Defender and Heartseeker buffs. The mid tier is going to give you crit damage 2. It's going to give you level 7s and minor Heartthirst. You're going to have to be level 100 with a base dual wield of 375 and have to have trained sneak attack. And the highest version is going to give you crit damage rating of 3. It's going to give you, I should mention this second version has higher base attack skill and melee defense mods of 22%. The highest version is going to give you crit damage 3 with base attack skill and melee defense mods of 25%. It's going to give you level 8 Defender and Heartseeker buffs and dual wield buffs, and it's going to give you major Heartthirst and minor Defender. And then it's going to require level 150, base dual wield of 420, and specialized sneak attack to use. And finally, we have some magic items. So we have lenses of vulnerability. So the weak version of the lens of vulnerability was going to require assess person. and it's going to cast Vulnerability Other 6. You have to have an assess person of 235. The mid version of this is going to give you a slightly higher melee defense mod, require assess person of 285, and is going to cast Gravity Well, which is the level 7 vulnerability spell. And the epic version is also going to give you a melee defense of 20%, and it's going to cast level 8 Vulnerability Other, requiring assess person of 310. Then we have a futility version, which is going to be the same thing, same requirements. It's going to cast Magic Yield Other 6, 7, and 8. And then for defenselessness or missile defense reduction, same thing, 6, 7, and 8 version of those spells. So those are the unique items that we have added to this vendor. We hope that there is something for everybody and some unique builds that you'll come up with using these items, or at least something different that you've never used before, specializing recklessness in order to get your half of your creature buffs. We think that there could be some unique build combinations here, and we're excited to see what you come up with. Something else that will be available on the League vendor is Imbue salvage, similar to what's available in the marketplace vendor for Levistras. You will not be able to get foolproof salvage from this vendor, but you will be able to get regular Imbue salvage, which we think will be valuable. And I want to finally reiterate one more time that all of the unique items I have talked about here will not be kept once the league is over. So just keep that in mind. And I just want to make sure there's no misconceptions about that before the league gets started. But that's going to be it for this video. If you have questions after this comes out, please throw them in the Discord in the Chittick League channel. We'll be sure to go through and answer any ones that we can. And I'll be excited to see you in the chapter house on the 17th. Thanks for watching.